Welcome everyone back to the Smacked Up Wrestling Podcast. I'm Will.
I'm Martin.
So, a few wee things before we get into the Raw recap. Big news for the podcast. As of today for episode 8, this will be the last one on the Gaming Vault. From now on, to hear the podcast, go and check out the channel, Smacked Up Wrestling Podcast. I'll leave a link in the description. Like and subscribe. From now on, that's where all the podcasts are going to be held.
You click on that shit, you son of a bitch.
Aye. We will promote the fuck out of it so you get to hear it. Same again, like us on Facebook. And from now on, what we're also doing, all podcasts are on YouTube. So if you want to hear us, go over to YouTube, listen to us out. We'll let everybody know on the Facebook page when the podcast is up on YouTube. So that's what to do. And that's from episode 9. So tonight, episode 8 will be on both channels. But after that, it will be 9 from now on the Smacked Up Wrestling Podcast YouTube channel. A few wee things. I'll get out of the road, Mark, because I know you've got a few. So we got fucking... Oh, I just got a message for you on... which is the thing you're talking about.
Have a wee look. It might not be what you expect.
Right, okay. Well, April Hunter, the former WCW valet, retweeted us back for the Smacked Up Wrestling.
Woo!
So,
well done, Hen.
I'm happy with that.
Second best month in the year. The best month being March. Give the world me.
I'm happy with that. I've always had a wee soft spot for her. If people didn't know her, she was like WCW's equivalent to China, except she wasn't put air as much, and she got paired with Steiner. So that's the easiest way to describe it. I felt sorry for her, but she's really nice on Twitter and that. She talks a lot to the wrestling
She's
fans.
also more attractive than China.
Yes.
But, that's because she's alive and no
Which is
Tyler
Durst. Big news as well for ICW over the weekend. Mick Foley was supposed to be the guest enforcer for the...
He was the GM for the night.
Sorry, that's right, the GM, aye.
He said WWE
had to pull him out for Survivor Series.
I'm a little bit annoyed. I'm not against his replacement in any way, shape or form, but the thing is, this was announced, I think, either December or January last year that Mick was coming back. And it was a huge deal because, like me and Will, Dallas, the owner of ICW, and a great many of the wrestlers there, like their sort of core group, Mick was the man to them.
Yep.
Much like with myself, he's the one that got them into wrestling, showed them it could be something more than just, oiled up guys hitting each other. There could be comedy, it could make you think and all that sort of stuff. And so them getting Mick in was just the biggest deal.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've ever seen any photos of that, especially some of the backstage stuff, Mick sitting down with Dallas and the two of them talking, you can see Dallas's face. He can't believe he's there.
He's awestruck, and that's the thing. When I've seen the photos and hear the stories that, like, it's not like one of these like old wrestlers that will just go to like a show, he'll hide back, he'll just hide backstage, get whatever money he's going to get, do the segment he's going to do, and then fuck off. Mick involves himself through everything, giving pointers, enjoying the show, trying
it was
to
amazing to see because he was excited to be there, and the fact that you had all these guys who grew up like us, loving him and loving his work, and they could pick his brain, which is the most valuable thing a retired wrestler can do. And okay, maybe Mick's brain's not quite as fresh as Tom, but you could see that Mick kind of fell in love with ICW a bit as well.
I mean, because he promotes them as... I remember, was it the Austin podcast when they were talking about when Reigns went over on Royal Rumble, and they spoke about that last year. And I still don't know the reason why he's been pulled for Survivor Series.
Well, this is the thing, right? Because WWE were obviously aware of ICW running the Hydro, which is why they finally brought Raw and SmackDown up here, because WWE need to be the wrestling group that sell that out, which they still haven't done for either night, by the way.
No, I know they're still advertising tickets.
Tickets for SmackDown. Anyway, that's the only reason we're doing that. It was to get in before ICW and try and use their name to sell it out and say that they did it first, which they have failed to do. Thank God. So clearly, WWE knew this show was on. Also, WWE organised their pay-per-views the November before the year of them. So last November, they decided their dates. I'm sure things changed a wee bit because of the brand split, but Survivor Series was always set for the 20th November. And ICW have always done this sort of thing, at least as far as I know, where they'll put on their shows and then the wrestlers and some of the fans all head to the pub and they watch WWE.
Yeah, that's right. Together. Yeah, because they do that every. Well, I didn't. Was it the Mania? Was it 30?
Well, they tend to do it for the big shows. Like
they never, I can't. I didn't think. I can't remember if they'd done a show that night, but I do remember they'd done a big, massive.
Well, they put matches on.
I do remember the Q&A
in the park. But anyway, so usually what happens is like a little hardcore that go along. They all have fun. They'll get drunk together. They all have a good time because everybody's just a fan of wrestling.
Aye.
And they're nice guys. So once again, it's one of the big 4 pay-per-views. We've got our biggest show ever. The first thing they're going to want today when that show's done is celebrate. So it's all organised, and now 4 weeks before this show, 4 fucking weeks, they go, aye, Mick's not gone. Now, normally, when someone has pre-existing commitments before signing with WWE, Vince lets them honour it. And I know it's, usually it's a wrestler that happens with, like an active wrestler, and Mick's not that.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me that they need Mick to go on screen for 1 or 2
segments
to talk something and then, send them away again. Judging by how he's being used on Raw, by the way, which we'll talk about later.
Wait till we get to Raw.
But 1 or 2 segments out of him, he has his lines, he goes away. You're telling me you need him for that?
Well, what I took from it and like reading like a few wee bit and bobs of it, obviously like Mick Foley has been pulled, but like Mark said, he in theory shouldn't have to get a call for Triple H to explain
the
reason. Triple H is it could have just fucking done you that you're not getting them.
A letter or something.
Aye. So this is the thing. Like we don't really understand why. Why for the Survivor Series? What's going to be his major role in that? He's going to have a fucking major role because see if he's only screened for 2 fucking seconds. If I was Mark Dallas, I'd be fucking raging.
Well, on the other hand, though, his replacement
is
a big fucking deal.
Yes,
it's Finn.
Yeah, Finn Balor is coming back. Yeah, he's coming back to the Hydro for ICW as a guest enforcer. Now, anybody only knows Finn Balor through WWE. He did a lot of indie stuff in ICW, obviously around the world. As
huge
Prince
part of ICW making its name.
Yeah,
when he was Devitt.
And there's one. I mean, the thing is, there's one documentary on. I don't know if it's still on the network, and they used ICW clips. And
that's right.
He always said, "Look, it's just a cheerio. That's it. It's no goodbye. It's a I'll see you.
I'll be back."
And to have the way they done it, like the segment they made was amazing to build it up, and then the crowd fucking ate it. And I found this brilliant on their part, like the WWE's part, because he's one of their big names. He's a big fucking name, and just to go, do you know what? Right, okay, you're still under recovery. You're no wrestling. We'll let you go that promotion for one night, just to see your pals, do the thing, and then that's it.
And it helps them draw even more. I mean, there are people who maybe wouldn't have wanted to see Mick do his thing that are going to go, holy shit, Finn's there.
Well, see, this is what me and Marie were talking about, and I can imagine when I speak to Graham, me and him will say this because like we're going to Raw, and one of the reasons we were going to Raw was you get to see Finn Balor. Fair enough, he won't come out in his makeup and that, but you get to see Finn Balor. He had his injury, bastard. But now he's coming to the Hydro.
I was going to say, because he's making this one-off appearance for ICW, I think he's going to dress up, the full makeup and all that. Maybe not even as the Demon. Maybe one of his old.
I don't think he could do the. I think the Demon. I think obviously WWE have the copyright to that one, and
oh no,
I think come back to the Punisher or something. I think he always
Finn's the one who created the demon look. And, if he wants to do it, I'm sure they'd be alright with it because they've had to inconvenience everybody by pulling Mick.
So,
but copyright's never really been something he was concerned about. Past.
So let's see what happens. But that's big news about Finn Balor. I'm happy with that. I actually more over with that than the Mick Foley one. As much as I love Mick, but have Finn Balor finally the fact that you've got the way to look at it, one of the top stars in Raw to stay one night for
anywhere.
Do you know what I mean? If you're Mark Dallas at that point, you're rubbing your fucking horns.
Of course you are.
Do you know what I mean?
It's shit hot. It's a bit disappointing that they waited to this close to the event to pull Mick out. I mean, they could have done this a couple of months back and then, arranged something on the slide with them. And now, of course, sadly, Finn being injured, it has freed them up for it. Lets them get a little bit extra money. Lets them have a homecoming. And it's going to be a crazy fucking
it'd be crazy, mate. And the fact, like I said, I want to go now. I want to go.
You should have wanted to go before.
I know, but now I want to go. I want to go now because I could only afford the Raw and SmackDown tickets. But now I want to go and see this. I'm told to see this.
Every penny is going to be worth it for Kurt Angle and Joe Coffey. That's going to be phenomenal. That's the one I'm most hyped for because last year Joe took on Rhino in a cracking match at the SECC, and it was just two big burly bastards knocking the shit out of each other.
So
it was amazing.
If anybody is listening to this podcast and want to see Finn Balor, go and buy fucking tickets for ICW. Don't bother your ass with Raw and SmackDown. Go for ICW.
Support. Guys, they've worked so hard to get to this day. The odds were against them. They shouldn't have lasted a year. Instead, he's going for a wee gym in Maryhill, just this wee barn who liked the Attitude Era, and he's created a fucking monster, and he deserves every bit of the success he's got coming. They all do.
And see the bit I love more about it, mate. This is what I love more. And like you say, because I was going to say, this is a bit weird. I've not spoke to you in a long time. I mean, we weren't on Destiny about an hour ago. But let's see what I love, right? And it is the Scottish mentality here. I love the fact that when you look at the Culture Wrestling promotion, right, that's their English one.
All the money in the world and a bunch of fucking wanks who are just marks.
Who do they get? I'm talking about before Cody Rhodes showed up, right? But you get Del Rio.
Aye.
Who gives a flying fuck, right?
Aye.
We get Finn Balor. do you know what I mean? Kurt Angle as well, but I think they got Angle. Am I right?
They did, aye.
Right, but Finn Balor. That is a biggie.
Just imagine seeing him and Kurt in the same ring, just teasing something. Don't even need to do anything. Just have them facing each other in the ring.
It's fucking magical. That is amazing. So I'm merling over them in for ICW. So, and you've got another interesting fact about pay-per-views.
What one was that? No, kidding. There's a new streaming service kicking off. I'm trying to remember their name. Flow Grapple or Flow Wrestling or something stupid like that. Basically, it's a new streaming service. It's going to cover as many indies as they can sign. So far, they've announced Ring of Honor, Dragon Gate, Evolve. $20 a month, but they also have WWE pay-per-views live. The catch is WWE have no input here. They must have got the deal through cable companies or something. Not really sure how they pulled it off. But they're not happy because WWE, as we were discussing the other week there, we're talking about doing the same kind of thing with the network and having different tiers.
Yes.
Getting indie companies in. But this mob have said that they're wanting anybody they can find for all around the world. I mean, you can look at ICW, Progress, Rev Pro, all sorts of stuff. Who knows? Maybe even some Japanese companies. Speaking of which, by the way, this will mean something to about maybe 2 people listening to this, maybe, including myself. DDT Pro Wrestling, right? You ever heard of DDT, Will?
No.
Right. They are most famous or infamous for having a blow-up doll wrestler called Yoshihiko, all capital letters, who has some of the best matches you'll ever see, including one with Kenny Omega. Now, Yoshihiko is helped by 2 handlers who help her do the moves. She's been bust twice, and each time she's came back with a new persona. So the first Yoshihiko bust, she came back as Hulk Hogan Yoshihiko. He bust, and she came back as Undertaker on the bike with Roland. Anyway, it's genius. This DDT company doesn't take itself very seriously. Most people will know it because of the Kenny Omega Haruka match. Haruka was a 9-year-old girl. It's amazing because he boots her right in the face and down she goes like a sack of totties. It's fantastic. Anyway, they're starting their own streaming service in January. I've managed to catch a couple of DDT events because of the way the time works out. It tends to be like 10 AM here, and I remember, like, I think it was June or something, I happened to catch one. Somebody posted a link to a stream. It's phenomenal. There's nothing else like it. It doesn't take itself even slightly seriously, and I guarantee anybody who has like any kind of sense of humour are going to get a whole lot out of it. Find them on YouTube. They've got a belt called let's see if I get this right, the DDT Heavy Iron Man something or other belt. Anyway, it can be defended anywhere at any time.
That's very Japanese.
But unlike the hardcore title from the old 24/7 rule, anybody can win it. I mean, there's like a list of over 200 champions, including a ladder, a table, a chihuahua. The belt itself has won itself 3 times.
That's fucking crazy.
Well, when a guy won it, after the referee made the count and he collapses in a heap, knackered, the referee put the belt on him, another ref slid into the ring, counted to 3.
That is brilliant. That's kayfabe at its best, though.
In fact, during the year, because Joey Ryan took it to the States after he won it, he was shouting at a crowd who were like clapping and whatever chant they were doing, and Joey said, that's enough, stop, and the referee counted it as a submission, so 100 people held the belt at once.
That really look at how many people can turn around and say that they were a champion for a promotion.
Aye, an obscure Japanese company.
Oh, that's amazing. That is really cool. I like that.
I really do, and this is going to be a way to actually see them more and more, having all their stuff up there, and I can't wait. So what I'm saying is, screw this flow mob, buy DDT Pro in January. That was the point there, honest. That was my intention all along. I didn't get lost off on a tangent at all.
So, before you do go off on a tangent, right, because I think we will, 3rd week in a row, and I'm going to just outright and fucking start this, right? People might not like it, but...
It's no podcast for them.
I know. Raw is fucking shit. And last night
they should call it that. Use the old Raw is War logo.
It's fucking shit.
Raw is Boz.
For a go home to one of your pay-per-views, that should have had all sorts going on to sell that fucking pay-per-view.
Do you know what the thing is, though? It's not even the fact that it's not fun to watch. It's the fact that they're getting the fundamentals wrong. As we'll go into details, there's basic execution of a face-heel dynamic.
Yep.
And the writers don't understand it.
Yep. The main event kind of proved that. Fair enough. You knew what way it was going to turn into, right? But this should have been done last week and have Rollins versus Jericho last night, where KO interferes and like stones Aaron with the belt, which we've seen in the past. I know it's old, but it staples home that he's the bad guy. He's the bad guy.
Something Raw needs to get back to.
So the kick-off, Jericho comes out, right, and he's lost the list of Jericho.
Which I'm raging about. That's terrible. Terrible. Imagine losing your most prized possession in the world.
Because I've seen a couple of people moaning that they've made Raw run this list, and I'm like, well,
it's over.
That's it. Sometimes, right, I get what some of them are meaning in the sense where like they don't know when that horse is dead. Okay, they're trying something new to keep things interesting, because what came later was shite. So you need something funny, and to be fair, that crowd was smart as fuck last night. And even during the highlights, 9 times out of 10, you can't really tell with that crowd in the highlights. Some of them you can, but through that crowd never shutted up and made their
No, they
feelings
didn't. They got turned down a few times.
Yeah.
But they never shut up. They were excited.
So,
God knows how they kept it up. They must have
exactly.
been using drugs in Minnesota.
Exactly, because that is so bad. So you've got him, and he's going on about the list of Jericho's missing, and then Kevin Owens comes out and he's trying to blame, did you steal it? Usual, still good. It's still good watching the two. Stephanie McMahon.
Because they have fun together in the show.
And
unlike 90% of the show.
Stephanie McMahon comes out, and it's like the old Jericho Stephanie McMahon relationship for years ago, where it was like good to watch. The two of them hated each other, and they're going back and forth again. Usual. Rollins comes out. And this is my problem, right? Rollins as a face does not work.
It should work, but they screwed it up. See if they just turned him the second he was back when everybody was going mental for him.
Yep.
Would have been fine. Because he could say thanks for the welcome, blah blah blah. The authority never looked after me while I was out hurt, and I can't believe they do that. And I was wrong to ever be with blah blah blah. Right? Instead, he comes back and he's with them.
Aye,
silly, isn't he?
That. Last week kind of hammered home certain things like the sparkly crotch thing, like that. How over did that get? Fucking never heard it again.
If it wasn't for Jericho, it would have been as good as like a fart with a follow through.
But like he's got the list, and like he's naming things off the list, and see that way I'm watching it, and it's like this would have been funny if delivered right, but it fell flat in its face.
Absolutely did. Absolutely.
It is not even like Jericho could even save this to a certain extent. I don't think anybody could. And it just, to me, felt like, wow, this is what we are kicking off the show. And then I started to understand what people were saying about the whole, you've made this show about a fucking list. And then that's when I clicked when I'm listening and I'm watching and I'm like, fuck me, this is bad. And that just set up the rest of the night to follow.
More or less. I mean, the list thing's fun, but it shouldn't be the focus of everything. It should just be something Jericho does at the end of a promo. It's common sense, right?
Because like people are moaning about James Ellsworth and try to compare James Ellsworth to this list. The difference is right. James Ellsworth is go over before he even fucking done anything. Something clicked. That was it.
Look. That was it. But the right look, everybody wants him to pull it off, but you know he's not going to, because he's literally got no chin and no chance.
And like I was talking about the SmackDown one, people moaned because he's like ruining the bell. It's like, no, fucking remember.
Pish. Absolute pish.
Remember all the shit. They're telling a story. And again, SmackDown did it right. You know who the bad guy is, you know who the good guy is.
As far as I'm concerned, if you're having a feud for a world belt, the middle of that feud should be your world title. That's simple. No, somebody's list. With James Ellsworth, it worked because the main thing that everybody's wanting in that story is the belt.
Yeah, they all want the belt. And tonight...
Emphasis is placed on it because he's having that match. He's no business being here, but he is here.
Because he's
That's
got a title shot.
A lifetime because it's a big deal.
That's
because
it.
That title is so prestigious. Whereas on Raw, you go, that prick got my list. I'm not wrestling till you give me my list. My list. Look, aye, but I've got a belt. Forget about your list. Shut up about your belt. My list away.
It just fell flat in its face because then after all that, it cuts to a segment where like, which was boring as fuck. Stephanie, he's bad mouthing the authority, and I don't have the list. That was it.
Aye.
That was it. And see that.
Put it in the locker room.
See, by that point, I knew how this. Like I said, mate, I fucking knew how this was going. And see that way, I'm like, this podcast is going to be one fucking raw bash because that's 3 weeks. That's 3 weeks since we started this podcast, and I cannot remember one good Raw.
Well, there's not been one yet. That's why.
No, but even if you watch some of the other stuff before the brand split,
there's not been a good Raw since.
It's fucking awful.
Apart from that first week, where they threw everything at the wall, but that was it. They were screwed after that.
First match in the night, Enzo versus Carl Anderson.
Right, quick question about this. Is Carl Anderson also joined in with Neville and went, is that Vince's Cocoa Pops? Aye, let's piss in them together.
I hate what's happening to the club. I fucking detest it.
I know you've never seen much of New Japan, but see Carl Anderson in New Japan, he was a fucking killer. His nickname was Machine Gun for a reason.
The way they've been shown, I wish they went to, I wish they actually went to fucking SmackDown with AJ.
I would think that would have helped, because then they would have just been doing the same kind of jobs but with no promos. I know that the promos are helping them, but they've been shot on. They've been completely wasted. They're still getting wasted.
I mean, Enzo and Big
They're meant
Cass.
to be serious killers who happen to be able to turn a phrase.
Enzo
Right?
and Big
Instead,
Cass, I'm
they've got
not a
them
fan
dressing up
of.
as fucking doctors. I
I'm
love them.
not a fan of them.
They're on the mic, they're hilarious. Their work needs a bit of work, but they're charismatic. The crowd love them everywhere they go, and I can see why. Because
Mate,
they're
I'll
just
fucking boo
fun.
them when I see them in Raw. I fucking support my
because
heels.
you're the cheers.
I support my heels.
So, the two of them are not amazing in the ring, but they are very entertaining on the mic, as they proved last night when their so-called microphones cut off and they just shouted the promos instead.
I just hate the fact that the club is like how many times now are they going to get down
Oh,
with
no.
that fucking thing, and then it's shat on to the point.
They're jobbers.
Ah, well, that's right, because basically to the point where the next match kind of like just fucking cemented it to me.
I know.
Kind of hurt him.
Enzo doesn't win on his own.
No,
He doesn't. And okay, yes, Cass interfered to get him the win, but you know what? Enzo's half the size of these guys.
aye.
Whether Cass is there or no, they're supposed to be this amazing tag team. So surely Gallows would be there watching for this kind of thing. He stops Cass, and Carl gets his pin. By the way, why is he not called himself Hot Carl?
Oh fuck knows, mate. It's
Google it. Google it. I dare you.
I can't reach my keyboard just now.
Probably for the best.
I'm in my comfy.
Right, so that was a bit of a mess.
Enzo wins. It was a bit of a mess. Club gets shot on again, and
Aye.
then the following match proved.
Know the match. There's a bit missing there for
Right.
you. Rusev cut a promo about what he's been doing with Reigns recently.
I
Right?
heard this, mate. And right on you go.
It was
Sorry.
it's a face promo.
Right.
He says, "Look, I had this title. I've met my wife while working for this company after I came to the country. I've earned my way to the top, blah, blah, blah. This man has come, he insults my wife, he takes my title, he jumps me from behind, he ruins our celebrations. It's personal and he's made it personal." It was a face promo. It was all about... I mean, if you didn't know anything what was going on between the two and that was the first thing you saw, you'd think, well, he must be getting cheered then. But no,
Yeah.
because Vince thinks foreigners are evil, and because Vince thinks that, everybody has to think that.
Well, the other thing I was going to say as well. Am I right in saying he never cut this in the ring? This was like
No, he didn't. It was pre-recorded as well. So
Right.
somebody has pre-recorded it, they've vetted it, and they've went, aye, that'll do. What?
This is why this Raw is shite, because you've got this pay-per-view and you've got like the tag belts. Let's put I don't even think the tag belts are getting defended. Am I right?
Cut it. Cut it.
Can you hear me?
You've cut it.
Hear me now?
Aye.
Right. Fuck knows what's happened. Fuck it, I'll leave it in because I was getting shouting there.
Okay.
I'll just leave it in. Aye. Is the tag belts getting defended on Sunday?
Aye.
Who are they against?
The exact same people that they had a match against on Raw.
Right. So, was there any... Right, we'll talk about the US title first. You think, with that being the second highest belt on that show, you'd have something in the ring to
Aye,
stay...
because it's the go-home,
Yes. So last week, you had Rusev smacking fuck out of Roman Reigns.
which
right?
should have been this week.
Well, I
Simple.
was going to say, leave that as last week, but Reigns gets the upper hand this week. But then...
No,
what I was meaning is, if, say, Reigns straps the belt, which I couldn't see anyhow. But I know
But he won't.
I know what you mean, though. If Rusev done it this week, then it's Staples Haim. Fuck, there's a feud for Sunday. There's the feud. To have it in fucking TV segments.
which should have done last week, but this is why Rusev's so angry. This is what he's done to me. And then this week, Roman's in the ring getting booed, doing his thing. That'll be why they didn't do it, by the way. They didn't want him getting booed before their big show, in case anybody happened to tune in. Know that anybody's going to be stupid enough to do that. Anyway, so then Rusev's in the ring talking his shit, and not Rusev, Roman.
Yeah.
In the ring talking his shit, and then Rusev comes out and just banjos him and mauls him like he did last week. That's your setup. But no, they go to fucking ass backwards, just like the next segment.
Yes. So, well, there you go. I didn't know the tag titles were on the line for Sunday.
Well, do you not remember? See when they had their best of 7 match
Right.
thing? And it was for a title shot, and then it ends up being a draw. Foley changed it so that, well, you two are going to challenge for the tag titles together. So, that makes this match doubly stupid, because not only did they have Big E and Kofi take on Shane Zaro, that's their name, I don't care, they then make it look like as if getting that pin is what sets up a tag team title match. But they've already got the title match, because that was the whole point of the past 2 months.
What I don't like about this whole scenario, right? You've got the New Day who's over.
Aye.
The faces. You've got Cesaro who's over as fuck.
And nobody can see it for some reason.
And Sheamus is the heel, right?
Like,
Let's be honest, he's a heel.
He is, but he's going to turn.
He's
Him and
got-
Cesaro win these belts. They'll kind of coexist for a bit. The crowd will settle with them. Sheamus will get along being a sort of badass face with them, then turn on them in a couple of months.
Why have 2 sets of faces go for this belt when there's no the crowd?
This is more a story thing, though.
Right.
But like we were saying last week with SmackDown, you can't be moaning about James Ellsworth because there's a story to take in. This is their story. The difference is, it's very badly done.
Aye, because it's been put together within fucking 2 weeks.
Well, no, because they've been doing these matches for the past 3 weeks. You know, Sheamus and then a New Day member, Cesaro and a New Day member on their Facebook thing showing this dissension between them. This match should not have happened. They shouldn't have been touching each other as tag teams until Sunday. Instead, we're going to get the same match again, only because Cesaro's awesome, he'll want to add something to it, and I'm sure Kofi will sell like crazy. Now, most likely outcome is New Day are breaking this record. We know that. We've been over it before.
Mm-hmm.
But it wouldn't make sense to the Cesaro-Sheamus story unless they're just going to have Sheamus batter Cesaro at the pay-per-view and then have these two having to fight at Survivor Series. Even though logic would dictate Raw's tag team would be New Day and these two.
It's fucking stupid, mate, man.
That's what I'm saying. They can't tell a basic story. You've been seeing it all night. This list thing, Carl Anderson and the club being completely misused. Rusev cutting a face promo, expecting him to get booed for it, and now this. Only, what's worse about this is the Sheamus and Cesaro thing has been running since the first week of the brand split. And it's just a long mess.
The thing I noticed about the match, and I don't know if you noticed it, did you notice that Sheamus didn't look up to speed or par? It's like his other matches, he looked a bit slower last night. I don't know if he's carrying like a niggly injury.
It could be that. He might just be no well, or for all we know, it might just be, well, I'll just save myself for Sunday
Yeah,
if
he
we're going to have
didn't-
the same match.
he
You know,
didn't-
I wouldn't blame him.
he didn't-
I would be out of sorts if
He
I was
looked
stuck.
really slow and sloppy. Cesaro, fucking as usual, just looked like Cesaro.
Well, that guy's only got one speed.
But I noticed it with Sheamus. I'm no like digging him or anything, because like if he is,
No,
if
I
he
mean,
is carrying
no.
something, fair play. Still try to put on a show. You can't knock them back for trying.
Can't you really judge him properly till Sunday when they'll have a longer match? I think he might just be saving himself for it.
Hope
But,
so, mate. I
You
hope
never
so.
know with these things, with all the travelling they do. It's not an easy life.
Right. So Cesaro and Sheamus win. Right. So they've
Aye.
got the victory over the champions going into Hell in a Cell.
Which
Okay.
pretty much guarantees they're going to lose.
Yeah.
WWE logic.
Then
Then there was a recap of Bill Berg last week talking about being superheroes. So I fast forwarded that. And then we got a backstage bit. Now, remember last week when I said there hasn't been a Raw in ages where we keep seeing the one guy through all the night?
Yep.
Telling the story overall. See, when I was talking about that, I meant telling a good story. Not Chris Jericho going, where's my list? Where's my list? And then Jinder Mahal talking shite. Jinder Mahal!
How the fuck's he getting TV time?
I think they forgot they had him and then went, you doing anything? No, it's just like last time I was here, I'm sitting in catering. Right, just, you're an Indian guru this time. And you work with Tibetan monks. Tibet's no in India. Shut up. You want the camera? No. Go and talk shite to Jericho. I didn't like it. I don't know if you could tell. Anyway.
Mate, I've got my fucking notes in my fucking head just listening to that there. Honestly, it's fucking... This is a shite which, like, after I listen to a lot of people, I agree with them now. You know what I mean?
Know, if this gets much worse, we're going to make this a SmackDown only podcast. Because if I need to watch a Raw worse than this, I'm going to cut myself.
I wouldn't mind, mate. Because I felt last night they excluding SmackDown, right? WWE, right, is like going maybe 2 steps forward, but for some reason with fucking Raw they're going 4 steps fucking back.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, because like the next fucking segment and the crowd
right, see about last
went after fucking nut with it.
Because Dana Brooke was really fucking boring. She fucked up the ending last week. She was supposed to pin Bayley with her feet on the ropes, right?
Right.
Instead, she fucks up her ring positioning because she doesn't know what she's doing, and she pins Bayley clean. So Bayley showing how much better that she is than Dana, and a lot of the other roster, male or female, immediately starts selling her neck to protect her own character.
Aye.
She sells her neck, and they had that wee backstage bit that was called on the fly to cover up for it, which was genius on her part. Absolutely genius.
So,
but she shouldn't have had to do it. Instead, because Dana's been brought up too early, she's fucking up simple things.
We'll see last night, right, before I actually say what happened, okay, if nobody's seen it, I'm going to give you an example which should have happened, right, because then we get to see, give them their time in ring work, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, Bayley selling her injured neck or shoulder. Last night they shed fucking shoulder tape.
Aye, that one fucking strip of tape. It must be really sore.
She stole it off Cesaro, because it's Cesaro's shit. Anyhow, right, so Dana Brooke comes out and she's bad-mouthing Bayley. Put her down, right? Out comes Bayley. I can't wrestle because this, but I found a replacement.
No, it's not that. I can't wrestle. Why are you in your ring gear then, hen?
I think she'll just wear that every day. That's how happy she is.
Right, I'm walking the dog and putting on my ring gear.
But say she sends out Nia Jax.
You're Foxy or something.
Aye, have a match where it's just let Dana Brooke still try and get used to the crowd,
find her way about in the ring.
Aye.
But the thing is, though, developmental. She should have had time to learn that there.
Yeah,
NXT
she came up too fast. She came up far too fast.
I'm sure she's a lovely lassie in person, and she's having to make do with a situation she's been forced to deal with.
Instead, what we fucking got, and the crowd called it, and I heard the fucking crowd chanting boring.
Oh, you couldn't miss it. The one time they didn't turn it down. See if that had been Roman. That crowd would have been
turned down to fuck, mate. Dana Brooke versus Bayley in an arm wrestling match.
Who thought of this shite? Honestly. I want to find the Raw writers. I want a room with the Raw writers, a key to lock the door, and a fucking plank of wood.
That is boring as fuck.
Beat them with. And I feel so bad for Bayley. She's awesome.
Mate, I actually feel sorry for the two of them for that segment.
I know, but like Bayley is the reason, or a very big part of the reason that women aren't called divas now. See last year we had NXT TakeOver, 2 matches with Sasha.
Oh, they were fucking legendary.
Last year, their first match at the night before SummerSlam was probably match of the year in WWE. And I'm not exaggerating. You go back and watch that. It's damn near perfect.
Oh no, it was a great match, mate.
Right. The Iron Man match, which they still called it Iron Man even though they're women, I don't know. I've just find that a bit weird. Right, wasn't as good as that match, but, you know, how could it be? It was a fucking good match. You really wanted to see what was going to happen. It was great. Now look at where the women are overall. And then, okay, it's not just those two. Everybody's had some kind of input with Charlotte and Becky. But to go from that high and a year later, they two being stuck with this awful writing and this terrible segment. I mean, I don't know if it was to, like, you know how Vince likes to punish people for screwing up? Was it that? Did he really think that people would buy into it? Is nobody vetting these scripts because they're fucking atrocious?
See the worst it is, mate. Right? See what I've always said, if you pay your money, the crowd can say whatever they fucking want within reason. Okay?
Absolutely. Unless Kevin Dunn's got a volume knob next to him, the bucket tooth.
I was going to say that fucking big tooth cunt. But see if you've got so you've got Bayley, right? She knows her shit. So I'm going to exclude Bayley for this one, but she's there, so it's hard naughty, but she's there. You've got Dana Brooke, who's still learning, still probably has their butterflies, still a bit nervous. The worst thing you could have fucking done after last week when she's still learning, she made
it on her own for 5 minutes with
and
a
the
microphone.
crowd chants boring. That is the worst fucking thing they could have done.
And
honestly,
yet they did
man.
it, and they didn't seem to think that maybe we shouldn't do it, maybe we should start with Bayley. No, instead they throw them out to the fucking wolves.
They have no fucking clue, and
do you know what? I hope that's the case, because see if that was deliberate to see how Dana would react or something, that's just horrible.
That is fucking horrible, mate. And that's the way I'm looking at it, and I'm like, why would you have a segment like this? Because
surely a good manager of any kind of industry is going to do something that plays to the employee's strengths. You don't want to expose somebody like that.
They could have had
Dana can't wrestle, Dana can't talk, Dana.
They could have had a match where, like I said, like you said, send out Alicia Fox. She's not the greatest, but at least they have a match.
She can go in the ring, and she's got charisma. Alicia can cover up her shortcomings. To be fair, I'm not even sure if she's on Raw anymore, or if she's on SmackDown.
No, she's on Raw. She's on because her and Nia had the kick-off before.
That's right, the box.
I
really like Fox. I've got a lot of time for her. I think she's great.
She's alright. I still like her.
She's not the best in the ring, but
that's what I'm saying. See if you had something like that, just send them out. Just like have a 5-minute match. Just get used to that crowd. Just like the eyes looking on you, just turn off.
Well, you see, this is the problem, like, because they want the women rightfully to be taken seriously as wrestlers. You're not going to get any squash matches like that unless it's a no-name jobber. But this is why they have shows like Main Event.
So why did they have a jobber on last week for Bayley?
Well, fuck knows.
But do you know what I mean? It's like you're saying, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You cannot run a show.
See, if they were smart, they would have stuck Bayley and Dana on Main Event, give them a wee 20 minutes. The crowd's not expecting anything. You can never talk. They'll not even shout boring because they've not warmed up yet. And you have her just get settled to working in front of 20,000 people. It's that simple. Just Main Event for a few weeks. Then you introduce her to Raw. And I know they tried to introduce her a bit by having her being Charlotte's sidekick, but it didn't work, because all she did was act really badly and get shouted at.
I mean, I genuinely felt sorry for Dana Brooke. I genuinely felt... fucking Bayley as well. I felt sorry for the two of them, because the crowd heated up in the wrong way against them. Do you know what I mean?
It's not their fault.
It's not their fault. That is fucking upper management, and that's why Raw has been shit. They do not know how to run Raw.
Every segment is a different aspect of why Raw sucks just now. Tonight, or last night. And now, after this, you had the one brief backstage highlight, which was Jericho and Stephanie talking about the list. And Jericho killed it with one line. Steph, you know we've never had a crossword in the entire 16 years I've been here.
A shape, it's funny.
I know, but to just, whitewash everything he's ever called her.
Aye.
Oh, look, it's fake boobs McMahon.
Fucking, but that's see, but that's the thing, and then they're keeping they're keeping that fucking list going, and it's like, right, okay, that is something they could have done last week or the week before.
I know.
You know what I mean? No,
Not your go home.
no. So then you have Bo Dallas versus Curtis Axel, who's came back dressed like a wrestler again.
Question about Curtis. His t-shirt said Skull, Axel Skull. Is he really like old Scottish lager?
Fuck knows.
I'm assuming, because that's what he had written on him.
Looked alright. I wouldn't say it was a bad match.
No,
But
it was a house show match,
Aye,
and then Bo wins
Aye.
out of nowhere. Axel was a hometown guy, and they got a very nice reaction.
yeah, that was
Like,
it. It
like I
was-
said the other week, the gimmick for him is right there. Average Joe Hennig, the opposite of his dad.
you wonder seeing the next fucking cuts, he's going to be on it, man. He'll be on it.
Well, you see, the reason he survived this long is because the last time The Rock was in town, who did he practice with? Curtis, because he's a damn good wrestler. You know, like when it comes to the actual wrestling
And
aspect.
that's the thing, and it's sad when you see say shit like that, and it's all happening.
I mean, when you've got The Rock of all people talking you up, and who else was it that used to train with him? Oh, before he got fired, who was it? Fuck, I forgot his name. There was somebody else before Curtis Axel The Rock worked with, and it kept him around for a bit, and then he got fired once The Rock took his next hiatus. But I think Curtis will not be fired until his granddad dies,
Oh fuck, yeah, I forgot he's still around.
and Larry is old. I mean, maybe
Aye.
90-ish. I'm not too sure.
I forgot.
Anyway.
I forgot he was still kicking about.
Aye.
So Bo Dallas wins.
Aye,
Hometown.
don't know why. I don't know. I mean, even if they push Bo, where's he going to go for Curtis Axel? To fucking Jinder?
Aye, because the way it's looking, because like, see, you had after that Strowman.
Well,
I'm going to call
just
him Strowman.
before that, the one thing I will say, it's a lower card or lower mid card, and they've gave them a feud. It's a lot more than most people in that
aye.
position.
Aye, it's like it's the first time in a long time you've seen a low card
A
getting
low
a
card
feud.
feud. And I mean, as much as easy as it is to go over all these many negatives, they deserve praise for at least trying to do something right.
See, that's the thing. That was a positive of last
Aye.
night. The many fucking negatives, but that was the positive. And
Aye.
I enjoyed watching it. That was. It wasn't like it was fuck, it's a job. It was actually really good to watch. And then there's another match which was really good to watch, and it's like it was just a commentating was shite because the guy can't talk. But
Aye.
so I think you'll get the match I'm going to come to. But it cuts to like Strowman getting the
Brown strong man.
Jericho the list, and then he's like, "Oh, please, thank you." And he's like, "Oh, you made the list."
Aye.
Right,
Once he's
okay.
at earshot, of course.
So then we get the piss break, which was my piss break. Golden Truth versus Shining Stars. Golden Truth wins. There you go. I'm not even going to get into it.
Wait, you missed out one thing that needs pointed out. Right?
I knew you were going to do this.
How could I not? Well, you've got Henry and Shitus and Neil out at ringside, and the ending to the match, you've got one of the Shining Jobbers about to jump off the turnbuckle. Shitus gets shoved by old Mark. Just a wee shove. Not enough to do anything. Shitus then oversells it by sliding backwards, then taking a second, planting his feet in the ground, and jumping up and back so that his back hits the middle rope, which shakes slightly. And then the Shining Jobber goes tumbling off like it was a bloody huge mega earthquake, like a tsunami had swept him off, costing him the match. And meanwhile, to make up for his fuck up, when Henry shoves him the next time, the guy goes head first into your turnbuckle, revealing his very lovely pink socks.
I seen the pink socks.
How could you miss them?
Mate, I turned off at that match. I'm fucking sorry. That's something you should see main event, no Raw. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know why. I
it's-
don't know why or how, in any way, shape or form, I thought I saw potential in the O'Neill. Because wherever it is, wherever that potential is, it's gone.
They should have. Know what they should have done instead? Have a cruiserweight match there.
You know what they should have done instead? Just 10 minutes of adverts.
Fuck it.
Might as well make some money.
Right. This next bit, I don't know how you feel about it.
Well, I felt like I should fast forward because it was Mick and his one and only appearance tonight. I think they're listening to us with Sasha and Charlotte signing a contract that didn't end in a scrap.
I was happy though.
As Matthew pointed out on Twitter earlier, 2 weeks ago, Mick, it's an honour for you two to have the first Hell in a Cell match. Last night, Mick, this match killed my spine. Make up your mind, Mick.
It's one of that's what I was going to say. It's one of ones where it's like, okay, we're near the end of the show. Now you're hammering home the pay-per-view on Sunday, which should have been fucking done at the start of this fucking show, but you're having the two, like, just the usual Sasha and Charlotte. You can't fault the two of them. It's just their personality, the way they come across.
Aye.
But again, I wasn't sold on it. I just don't know what it was. I'm looking forward to the match. I know the match is going to be good. That segment just did not sell me. Like, this is the first woman's Hell in a Cell. See, if that was the case, no him and Mick Foley, Mick, I love you. It should have been Lita there. It should have been Lita. No, but think about it, mate.
I can see why they've got Mick there, but Mick should maybe be doing this to push over how big it is for the world title.
Yeah, see if they had, like, Mick talking to, like, Owens and Seth, like, something, I don't know, just a segment or something, or
even, like, going around backstage, maybe finding Rusev and
talking to all three of them and saying, like, look what the Hell in a Cell done in my career. Like, obviously, it made him the man he is, but in the long term, it fucked yourself. That would have been cool, and, like, have Lita come out and, like, do the contract signing, because I'd say she's the greatest women's champion. I'd say she's better than Trish Stratus. That's the debatable one.
Because whenever you go back and actually watch a Lita match, you can literally count on every finger you've got the number of times she botches. And she can't promo.
And it's
she can't.
Trish could promo, but she could botch and all.
Aye, but on the other hand, she knew, I better no jump up the turnbuckle and break my neck like Lita, the fucking idiot that she is.
But that's another debate. So you're going for Trish as the greatest woman, I'm going for Lita. But do you see what I mean? It's like, they should have had somebody like that thing with this match, and, like, fair enough, okay, promote the fuck out, it's the first woman's Hell in a Cell. They're doing that, but I think they're doing it wrong. And it just didn't sell me, if you know what I mean.
Like, a Hell in a Cell should be the ending of, like, a fucking blood feud. No, because, well, I don't really like you, and you don't really like me, and let's sign this contract, and then stare at each other, and I'll see you inside the big cage at the weekend.
It was done so wrong. It was done completely wrong again. It's the fucking word of the night for that show. It's wrong. It's wrong. I mean, after that, this was a good match. This was a fucking great match, and it was a cruiserweight match. With Brian Kendrick.
Best cruiserweight match since they brought the whole thing back.
This was the other positive. Brian Kendrick, against Rick Shawn or
Rick Shawn.
What's his fucking name?
Are you sure his first name's no Eric?
Is it Eric Shawn? What the fuck is it? Right, I fucking wrote
Rick Swan.
Right, fucking hell, man.
I just wanted to see if you would say Eric Shawn.
Mate, I wrote that. Well, fuck knows what I wrote. That shows you how much I'm, like, fucking watching. I'm watching it, like, what the fuck's his name? And I'm writing down quickly. But that was a good match. That TJ Perkins cannot fucking commentate.
No, but he can't do a lot of things.
He fucking cannot commentate.
Anyway, I will say this: I enjoyed the match, but the ending, this new Raw trademark of fucking up the basics kicks in.
The ending.
There's two problems with the cruiserweights. One is their booking. Two, everybody flies about. What's special about we guys flying about?
I mean, how long did the match last? Was it like a 10-minute match?
10 minutes, just about.
Right, so...
Now, tell me this. You are booking a big show, right? On Sunday, where your big show is, you're going to have two guys challenge for a title. Now, you want your challenger to look strong, and you want your champion to look like a fucking champion.
Yep.
What you don't do is have your challenger lose to a guy who's been on the show twice as part of a tag team for no reason.
Nope, totally right. That should have been, again, Brian, even if, like, say for Tom's sake, mate, right? Kendrick lost, which he did. And TJ Perkins came down and he's like congratulating Rick. I'm calling him Rick now. Because of my fuck up, he's getting called Rick. And then Kendrick attacks him again. Oh, there's Tony and Q waiting for him. But do you know what I mean? It's like, well, there you go. It sets home again. There's the heel, that's the face, there's the feud.
I will say this. The little backstage bit after this, where Brian goes to talk to TJ, did put a new slant on things. But it's still not quite what you want to see for a wrestler. Brian goes in there and he begs TJ to throw the match. Now, it makes him look weak, yes. But what I think they were trying to do was show that Brian is at his most desperate he's ever been, and he'll do anything come hell or high water to win.
Brian...
But it didn't really work like that, because instead you got this old tramp-looking guy going, I really need you to let me win the title so that my family don't become homeless. Does he make sense?
I mean,
Does he make sense?
Kendrick's good.
Kendrick's not getting fired because he loses a title match.
That said, people might believe this.
that said, I do hope he wins.
I'll see him win.
He's the only one in the cruiserweight division that should be heading it up just now. Nobody else has the experience or the charisma. You
need somebody to really fucking hit home that division.
He's the only man to do it.
Aye, TJ Perkins he's a great performer. Boring as fuck.
He's got all the charisma of a bent spoon.
Aye. Let Brian Kendrick Brian?
Let him
let
Brian,
I was gonna say Ryan. Brian Kendrick just go with it, aye.
Because all your best guys in the division are faces. Let him take on all comers.
Aye.
Also, one more question. Right? One more question. Where's Noam Dar, the good Rangers man?
I was waiting for you to say it. We're going to say it every Raw until he shows up.
Well, I'll probably keep saying it anyway because my joke book's really thin.
Then, was there any segments after that on the actual show?
Promo, blah, 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 I'm going to kill him at Hell in a Cell, blah, blah, blah. I don't like his face, blah, blah, blah. I really love Chris Me. Then we had Sammy and Strongman facing off in the ring, and then Strongman left.
Shite.
Then it was the Kendrick thing about going to use your belt, going to use your belt. And then...
This was surprising. The
single biggest fuck up of this week's Raw. Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
Now, here's a question. See, when they were sorting this all out, who backstage went, do you know what would be a really good idea? See, after we've had Goldberg come back and do that amazing promo, let's have Brock come out in his hometown, dressed in the colours of their football team, right? And get him booed. What?
I know.
What?
It's fucking stupid. Man.
What?
It's stupid.
No, they have a crap promo, which is the first time I've ever been able to say about this, about Heyman since he returned.
Aye, see that was the weird thing. Heyman had a bad promo.
Heyman was even wearing his tie was in the colours of the goddamn football team. Anyway, so Heyman gets booed, almost. Then they start the Suplex City. Heyman tries his damnedest to get this crowd hating him. All he had to say was one sentence: Brock moved to Canada because he hated it here.
Aye.
But clearly Brock doesn't want to get booed in his hometown, or he would have said something like that. Heyman's no stupid. Apparently this segment was such a screw-up. Vince went off his head and ended it early. Thank God he was paying attention for once.
It's, again, mate, this is... I just don't know.
It summed up everything wrong with Raw since this brand split.
It summed up the whole fucking evening in which you're trying to sell a Goldberg match with fucking Brock Lesnar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Goldberg done a brilliant job, right?
Aye.
Last night, fuck knows what was wrong with Heyman, because that was like one of his worst promos.
Partly that Lesnar doesn't want to get slaughtered in his hometown. It's partly that they've probably changed what he's had to say at the last minute, and it's partly the last time these two had a match, it stunk out Madison Square Garden.
It summed everything up about last night. And Then you had the triple threat, which was basically a 2-on-1, which we knew was going to happen.
Match.
It was a good match.
Nice pacing. The ending of it was the other only good thing that they did this week on Raw.
I liked how it was different. I've not seen that for a very long time. It was different. It was really good, and I liked how.
But I will say this: I don't believe that they two and the beating that they put on Seth was enough to justify the ref going off his head and getting security out.
No, because we've seen it before, but it's just like
I've seen it every week.
Like other refs
two guys throwing him. It wasn't like one of them was holding him down while the other one smacked him about with a chair or whatever. It was just, throw him into the barrier. Throw him into the stairs.
But see that, mate, that was the only fucking match, pardon me, and segment at the end where you're going into that pay-per-view and they're two are going to be locked in a hell in a cell.
Like it.
And it felt, oh fuck, here we go, right? They're like the old days where you like, before WrestleMania 15, you had the beer bath, the fucking sell at home and all that. Mm-hmm. They didn't have to do much, but that way it's like, it's got a crowd going. And then it was working, if you know what I mean. And it's like, fair play to use three guys, because if you three had a fucking bad match, fuck me, no cunt's going to care about Sunday.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? And it's bad enough that we're going to have to fucking sit and watch it. I've no got high hopes for Sunday, and that's me being honest.
Oh no, that main event will not be good, because Owens and Seth, both competent, both good wrestlers, both fantastic on their day, they don't work well together. They don't.
No, and that's the sad thing about it all. Unless they prove us completely wrong on Sunday and they have a fucking blaze. But just now, I
hope they do.
I'm dreading this fucking pay-per-view, mate. The only match I'm desperate to see is the Women's Hell in a Cell. I'm desperate.
I'm desperate to see it.
I'm desperate to see, because it's the first one. I want to see what they two are going to do. And they've two.
The thing is, though, you've got 3 Hell in a Cell matches, right? That means there's only so many spots you can use that would use the cage. And now you've got 3 separate matches with 3 separate producers and 6 wrestlers all competing to get the best spots that they're allowed to do.
If they were going to just do the Hell in a Cell, I've said this to Marie, I hate these gimmick pay-per-views. I fucking detest them, and I'm happy like some of them are away now. I hate TLC. I just think that's fucking stupid.
It is. They're all stupid.
Because it's like
should be used to finish a feud.
People go on about, but then it's a hardcore. It's like there's no fucking such thing as a hardcore fucking match now in WWE.
They don't even call it that. It's Extreme Rules.
Well, that's the thing.
Which doesn't make any sense because there's no rules.
But that's what I was going to. That's what I was going to say, mate. You've got Extreme Rules and TLC, which is basically the same kind of fucking pay-per-view. So you've got twice of that in a year, right? And then if you have like an Extreme Rules match, like we had with Jericho and Rollins, fucking Ambrose.
Suddenly triple threats become extreme, you know, or fatal 4-ways. That's no extreme.
That was one of the fucking worst ideas for a pay-per-view, that fatal 4-way thing.
That's why they only did it once, and everybody knew going into it would be shite, and then it came on and it was shite, and they never did it again because it was shite.
If they only had the women's title and the Universal title as the 2 Hell in a Cell matches, I would have been cool, because then you know, absolutely. If the woman does something, that's going to be with the women's.
Right? It would surely make more sense to do that, and then have Rusev and Roman do a last man standing.
Aye, that would have been fucking good. I'd love to see like a last man stand between the two.
Because they're just going to knock the crap at each other till one of them can't get up. That's exactly the kind of match they two should have. Or even have like a steel cage. Do something fucking different. No steel cage during Hell in a Cell.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But do something like how you're saying, like last man's. Do something fucking different. Do not put them in that Hell in a Cell, because
exactly. It's one thing halving the number of spots available for a Hell in a Cell by having 2 matches, but now you got 3. There's only so many spots that are allowed. Charlotte's probably going to want to do something retarded, like jump off the top, and no be allowed. I mean, what match out of the 3 of them would you think most likely to get a spot where they fall off the side? It's going to be the main event, you know.
The main event will have probably more spots, but I want to see what women are going to do.
That the women's match is going to suffer because the other 2 matches will get all the best spots.
What they've got to do, mate, is get that one on first. Get that one on first, set the pace.
It doesn't matter when it's on. I'm talking about when they're making the matches up.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If they've got better ideas, if they've got their ideas and they've no tell the other 2, Like this.
So that's not how it works in WWE. The producers get ideas. Producers go to Vince or Triple H, and they give the okay. Yes, you're all right with that, or no, we can't do that. So they're all going to need to sit in a meeting together. They've got all the spots possible laid out, and they're all going to pretty much argue to see who gets what. And then Vince or whoever is going to have the last say on it. That's how it works.
I'm not, like I said, I'm looking forward to one match. The rest of it I can give two fucks about. I'm dreading this pay-per-view. And I'll be 2 in a row that Raw sucked ass.
One other thing, according to Brian Alvarez, who's Meltzer's pal, Charlotte and Sasha is either going to open or close the show on Sunday because the WWE feels that if they put it in the middle or near the end, people are going to leave after.
I'd like them to open it. As much as it'd be amazing for women's wrestling to close a pay-per-view, which I think would be fucking awesome.
Well, this is a big enough deal to be a pay-per-view closer. They really should open with the US match. I would close with the women's match because it's completely unique.
It's
never
the first
been done
one.
Before.
That's it, and I totally agree. But I see where they'd be worried because, like, after watching that Raw, see, like, if it wasn't for the network, okay, if it wasn't for the network, would you spend $14.99 to watch that?
No, I'd be using the internet to illegally stream it.
No, but like legit, if you like say if all you could get, if you didn't know how to like get the sites and all that, okay, and you just were going to buy it, would you buy it?
Not a fucking chance. Not based on Raw.
There you go. It's that was fucking horrible last night, and maybe. Like, fair enough, the podcast has been a pure Raw bash, but like people have got to understand, like as a wrestling fan.
They'd understand if they watched it. We're doing you a favour by suffering so we didn't have to.
But see, as a wrestling fan, you do want your go home fucking Raws or SmackDowns before a pay-per-view to hit something home and go, fuck, I cannot wait to see Sunday. I cannot wait to see the pay-per-view.
Next up, Survivor Series, right?
Right.
If they fuck up those 2 go-home shows, then there's no hope for the rest of the year until maybe the Rumble. Because, yeah, I mean, it's one of these scenarios that anybody with the slightest fucking shred of sense couldn't fuck it up. But WWE are just, they have their ways. And something that is a guaranteed home run, they will fuck it.
I mean,
they will fuck it.
Like I said, they took 2 steps forward, doing the brand split was the right idea. We needed something fresh. But with Raw, it's 4 steps back. And you think with the fucking talent they've got, and it's like they don't know what to do. They have no idea what to do.
Well, this is the problem we have in the roster, so unbalanced. That's why SmackDown's doing well. They've got fuck all and they're doing the absolute best they can with it. Raw's got too much and it's just grabbed them for the sake of grabbing them.
And like Raw is the marquee show. But again,
does it deserve to be?
Exactly, that's it. And
this is their own fault. They've spent the past 9 years telling everybody, like, SmackDown is the pre-show. This is a sack of shite. All the shitters are on that show. And as great as it is, it's not getting the ratings because people have had it drummed into them. It's going to take a miracle for SmackDown to turn that round.
I think SmackDown in the long run will turn it round, mate. I think
they deserve to. They absolutely deserve to. It's a better show in every way.
I'm looking forward more to SmackDown when they come to Glasgow. I cannot wait for SmackDown. Raw.
See, right now, if somebody gave me like 40 quid and said you can buy a ticket for one of these shows, SmackDown's a show I'm going to.
Exactly. That I mean, like the last time me and Marie went to the house shows, Raw was boring as fuck. The main event, right, for a house show was John Cena versus Sheamus, and it was boring. It was so slow. It just the Waynes loved it, but as like a wrestling fan, it just it was quite a boring fucking house show. The SmackDown one, and it had a Punk was there. Fucking, I don't know why he was on the SmackDown one because he was Raw rostered. But he was on I can't remember what they done for the house show. But the close match was Edge versus. This is when fucking what is his name again? Big Jobber he is now. Oh fuck! Jack Swagger was a champion, right?
Aye.
And it was a title match, but like Jack Swagger hit the ref, so he got DQ'd, and it was great. The fucking you had Drew Galloway on it and all. The fucking Matt Hardy, like there was a good fucking show. And yet again, this is what I'm foreseeing is going to happen again when they come back to Glasgow. It's going to be SmackDown. It's going to be great to watch.
Aye.
Raw's going to be a fucking chore.
Unless something bizarre happens and there's a hideous plane crash wiping out the entire SmackDown roster.
Oh, fuck,
Aye.
mate.
That's what it's going to take.
That's deep.
Is this going to be
another?
Raw can be better as if the entire SmackDown roster, writers and crew are dead.
Is this going to be like another live movie scenario?
I'd watch that.
Would you eat Kane?
No, Kane would be the Ascension. Let's be honest.
Oh, fuck. Right, so we've got
Kane's alpha. He'll be munching on Victor's bones.
Oh, fuck.
Middle of the Atlantic.
So we've got SmackDown tonight. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. So that's been another Raw.
Christ, just the one. It felt like 5.
It felt like fucking. Mate,
see if hell's real. Hell will be us stuck in the same room watching nothing but Raw.
That, to me, for a go-home pay-per-view, Raw has to be the worst one I've seen. It's the worst one I've seen in a very long time. But hey-ho, that's us. We've got Destiny to play because we've got a fucking raid today. So, like I said, everybody, like and share the video, spread the word, like all the wrestlers.
Go to that new channel and
Get
watch
to
this
the
shit
new
out of it,
channel.
you absolute scum.
Everything's backdated. I've backdated the whole lot, so everything's there. So for episode
You've not got an excuse, basically. And if you don't watch it, you're dead to me. I'm cutting you out my life.
You don't want to be dead to Martin. Come on.
I'm doing this for fun.
I'm
I'm
the happy one out of the two. Is
I'm a prick. And I will cut you.
Fucking aye. So go and check out the new channel. That's where all the videos are going to be exclusive now. We'll put the link in the video for the channel. We'll leave a link in the Facebook page. Check us out on Facebook as well. So everyone's going to be exclusive to that channel. So this is Martin, the last one, for which has been a good ride so far on.
Aye. Oh, there's plenty of time for this wagon to go off the rails and out of control.
As long as I'm not drinking Jaeger.
Probably Sunday.
After Sunday's shite, we're not doing it again.
Aye,
like,
you'll
fuck
find
watching
me
this.
for the nearest tree.
We're only doing SmackDown. So, thanks again, everybody, for listening. Like this video, share it, let everybody know about Glasgow. Up and coming new podcast for wrestling. That's SmackDown
Best
Wrestling
podcast, as far as I'm concerned. And if anybody says otherwise, I will fight them.
We're getting wrestlers. I don't care if it's shameless promotion. Come on, I get shameless promotion for fucking Lloyd Kaufman. And
at least he's still sort of relevant because he was in Guardians of the Galaxy for a minute.
But the thing is, see if anybody that listens to this is under 20 and don't know who he is, I've got to explain. He's like,
you don't know who Lloyd Kaufman is? Fuck off.
You're dead to Martin.
No, you're not dead to me. Just fuck off.
Greatest horror gore movie director
fuck.
ever, man. I'm proud, mate. I've fucking got a retweet for him. And Tony's telling you all to subscribe to that channel, so go and subscribe to that channel.
Tony's telling you to get if you don't know who he is.
Yeah.
Lloyd Kaufman, know the dog.
So like and subscribe to the channel. Like and subscribe. The fucking what was it? The Facebook.
Just click on shit that we tell you to. Right.
Oh fuck! It's so many things because everything's changing now. Usually I had my spiel already for the past one. Now I'm going to have to get a spiel ready.
Look, I'll type it out under the video. Take the instructions.
Mate,
they're your Bible now.
I'll copy and paste.
You do it. Except, unlike the Bible, there's no room for interpretation. That's just how that is.
No, I'll find.
We are your God.
So that's us again. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow for Tuesday SmackDown Live.
For SmackDown.
And so we've got SmackDown and we'll have Saturday, mate. We'll have the Go Home show.
The pre-pay-per-view raveling.
Yep.
Everybody's favourite bit.
And then we'll put down. We'll get the list out, the scores, get our predictions ready. So.
Oh yes, it's going to be one big massive clusterfuck. Don't miss it.
Yep. So that's us again, Smacked Up Wrestling Podcast. I've been Will.
I've been Martin.
Thanks for listening. We'll catch you for SmackDown.
Cheerio.